Our self-esteem depends on how we see our qualities. If we are rich, tall, and healthy and think that these features are positive, our self-esteem will be high. If we are alone, poor, and sick, and think that these features are negative, our self-esteem will be low. People often think these values are fixed, but history shows they're not. Long ago, having fair skin was good because it meant a higher social status. Nowadays, being tan is seen as positive. This shows that what we value in ourselves can change. Values can shift when things are connected. If we link a bad quality with a good one, the bad one seems better. Marketing uses this idea with testimonials to make products look good. We want to do the same for our negative qualities that bring down our self-esteem. So, we made some videos pointing out common negative qualities. For each one, there's a list of people who share it. Knowing that we are not alone may help to render them less negative and more tolerable. Enjoy watching and learning. Thomas Alva Edison, 1847–1931, was an American inventor and entrepreneur. He was the first to apply the principles of mass production to the process of invention. Edison is considered one of the most prolific inventors of all time, having achieved a record 1,093 patents registered in his name. The U.S. magazine Life, in a double special edition, placed Edison at first place among the 100 most important people of the last 1,000 years, highlighting that its light bulb lights up the world. Edison's most famous quote is that genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. The story goes that Thomas Edison failed more than 1,000 times when trying to create the light bulb. When asked about it, Edison allegedly said, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I have successfully discovered 1,000 ways to not make a light bulb."
Edith Macefield, 1921–2008, was a real estate holdout who received worldwide attention in 2006 when she turned down an offer of $1 million to sell her house to make way for a commercial development in the Ballard neighborhood of Seattle, Washington. Macefield became something of a folk hero. As a result, the 5-story project was built surrounding her 108-year-old farmhouse, where she died at age 86 in 2008. She was buried in Evergreen Washelli Cemetery, Seattle, beside her mother, who had died in 1976 on the same couch as she did.
Hiroo Onoda, 1922–2014, was a Japanese soldier during World War II. Onoda was a member of the Futamata Bunko Command class of the Nakano Military School, trained in guerrilla warfare. On December 26, 1944, he was sent to the island of Lubang, together with the soldiers already present there, with the task to hinder the enemy's advance. He was ordered not to give up, at the cost of his own life. On February 28, 1945, the island was attacked by American forces, who wiped out Japanese resistance. Onoda and 3 fellow soldiers hid in the mountains. One after the other his comrades died, leaving him alone to fight in the jungle. In 1974, almost 30 years after the end of the war, he was eventually tracked down by Norio Suzuki, who returned to Japan with photos of the soldier and asked Onoda's direct superior, Major Taniguchi, to go to the island and convince him to surrender. On his return to Japan, Onoda was greeted with full honors by the government.
Margaret Thatcher, 1925–2013, was a British stateswoman who served as Prime Minister of the UK from 1979 to 1990 and leader of the Conservative Party from 1975 to 1990. She was the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century and the first woman to hold that office. A Soviet journalist dubbed her the Iron Lady, a nickname that became associated with her uncompromising politics and leadership style. In the 1980s, the National Coal Board, NCB, announced a blood and tears plan to close the wells, with a cut in production of 4 million tons. The unions decided to fight against the decision and started a strike which lasted about a year. In all this time, the Iron Lady did not retreat an inch. "Parliamentary democracy will never bow to the government of the crowd," she explained in a speech in Parliament in July '84. In the end, Thatcher prevailed. On March 3, 1985, the union failed to stop the closure plan, and with a narrow majority, decided the end of the strike. The miners returned to work.